Plaintiff Corinne Kessler got engaged to the defendant after they met at work, but soon after she realized that she wanted to reconcile with her ex-husband, whom she has since remarried. Corinne claims on the night of the defendant's birthday, she ditched him at a bar and took off with her husband, and the defendant chased them in Corinne's car and crashed the vehicle, so she's suing. Defendant Aaron Robinson says while he was with Corinne, she told him that her ex was mentally and physically abusive. Aaron says on the night Corinne ditched him, he had no idea that she went with her husband willingly, so he pursued them in an attempt to protect her. But he feels the accident could have been avoided had she simply broken up with him.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, we used to work together. I met him back in February of this year, and we started dating around May, and very quickly and suddenly got engaged. He proposed to me in July, and we got engaged, and shortly thereafter, my ex-husband, which now I've reconnected and remarried, he had called me and contacted me to try to work things out and try to get things right. And so we kind of started talking and kind of I was feeling like there was a relationship
So what did you tell
developing.
him when you were engaged to someone else and your ex-husband called you and said, let's work it out? What did you tell him?
I told him that I was engaged and that I wasn't going to, I couldn't do this. I felt guilty doing this. I needed to break it off before we had any contact.
Break what off?
The engagement.
Okay, so you did want to do it.
I did want to do it, but I didn't want to have any kind of physical contact or anything with my
So
ex-husband.
you weren't through with your ex emotionally, obviously.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you just rushed to get engaged to someone else for what reason then?
I was ready. I thought I was ready to settle down and start anew, and I thought that things were going really good with us.
How did you finally come to believe that you weren't ready?
When my ex-husband had contacted me.
And so when he contacted you, all those emotions reignited.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Many people do that. What do they call them? Rebound relationships. Yeah. So you were a rebound, sounds like, and ultimately that doesn't work out. They rush into something else to try and cover up the pain of the breakup, and before you know it, that new relationship fizzles out because it really wasn't sincere. It was just kind of rebounding. And so it sounds like what happened to you. So you told your ex that we'll work it out, but I just have to kind of dump this new guy in some way that doesn't break his heart. Is that kind of?
That's correct.
And what did happen?
Well, it was rounding near his birthday, conveniently enough, and I was really starting to feel guilty. That's not like me. I don't like hurting people. I don't like confrontation. I was just overwhelming guilt, and I don't handle guilt well. Mm-hmm. I don't handle confrontation well. And he was talking about how excited he was to spend his birthday with me, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And I'm like, I can't do this. So
she decided to sue him.
That's a good way to get out of it. You're right. Bring him to me. Go ahead.
So I was gonna wait till afterwards, till the next day at least, to do it. And we had gone out. We had gone to the fair, had a really good time. And then we met a friend of mine up at a bar to have a couple drinks to celebrate his birthday. And when we were there, he started talking to my friend. It was the first time he met him, and they hit it off really well. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't do this.
A guy friend?
Yes. I was like, I can't do this because I don't want him to get close to my friend, and then tomorrow it's gonna be all over. So I went in the bathroom and I called Craig to come get me. I said, I need to get out of here. I can't deal with this. The guilt's overwhelming. I can't, I don't know what to say. I can't look at him. He's gonna know something's going on, and it's his birthday. So Craig had come to pick me up, and I just bolted out. I left
Your
my
ex-husband?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I bolted out, and I left my keys and my purse there, and I didn't care. I just wanted out. I didn't want to deal with it, and I know that wasn't the most mature thing to do.
All right. What did you tell him?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing.
You never told him anything?
Nothing.
You never said anything? Did he call afterwards?
Yeah, he had called afterwards.
You just ignored his call?
Well, it was after a situation that happened on the highway, which is how my car got.
Which is what you're suing him about, obviously?
Correct.
Let me hear from you regarding...
First of all, we worked together, and I knew they had been on and off. I don't know him, I don't know her. And we started, like she said, we started dating. And when we started dating, that's when I started learning that there's a little more to the relationship than what she said. Like, I don't know if she was saying it because she was mad at him, but she had made it sound like it was an abusive relationship, both physically and mentally. And I don't know how true any of it is. Could have just been things out of anger. But I do know he was texting a lot. He was calling every day, texting every day. And I don't, like I said, I don't know the guy. All I know is that he seemed possessive. He seemed a little possessive to me. So when we went out to the bar and we were drinking a couple drinks, and she was outside talking to one of her friends, and I walked out there. I seen him pull up. So in order to avoid a confrontation, because that's what I figured it was going to be, because I figured one of her friends called him or something, she didn't say nothing to me. So I went to walk in the bar. I figured she'd be right behind me. She wasn't. I went back out there, and all I caught was the tail end of him driving off with her in the car. So I didn't know if she left willingly. Huh?
You caught the vapor.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know if she left willingly or not, because she didn't say nothing to me. And I knew that he was like trying to get her back.
Were you all living together at that point?
No, we weren't.
Just engaged.
Yeah.
So what did you do after?
Well, in fear for her, because I didn't know, like I said, she didn't bother to tell me she was leaving, so I didn't know that she had planned on leaving. And I knew that he was trying to get back to her, so I didn't know if
he had kidnapped her,
abducted her, came on, mad. They left in the car, and I did. I followed after him in the car.
Let me hear her tell me about the incident.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Okay, we had left the bar. I had left with Craig, and we were driving down the highway, and we were just going to go back home or whatever. He was driving, and he looked in his rearview mirror, and he seen this car coming up really fast, and it was like speeding and kind of like swerving all over the road. And Craig was like, oh my gosh, look at this guy behind us. He's going to wreck. This guy is going to wreck. And next thing you know, this car comes up behind us. He gets over and like slams on the brakes so we don't get hit. And then I hear, that's your car. And like he flew out.
You had left your car?
I left my car, my keys, my purse, everything.
And so it was your car that he had, and he ran up behind you all, and what happened?
Craig slammed on the brakes and kind of moved over a little bit to let this guy get around because he was driving erratically. And we were probably doing like, 75 at the time. And this guy is like coming up fast. So we're like moved out of the way. And then he like cut us off. Craig slammed on the brakes and he smashed right into the wall, the sidewall on the expressway. And we were going to stop because, we thought for sure it's going to be a mess.
But you guys didn't stop. I could have been dead.
And no, we didn't stop. We tried to stop. We looked back. There was traffic coming up behind us. Everybody was all over the road. So we called 911.
What time of night?
It was probably between 12:30 and 1 in the morning.
So you called 911?
Called 911, let them know what was going on. And then like as we were on the phone.
You knew it was your car?
Yes.
You knew he was in it?
Yes.
There was no exit?
There was an exit, but...
Did you all go off the exit and perhaps turn around to see what happened?
Well, before the exit came up, we seen him pull off and follow us again. So he came chasing after us.
Smashing
we're on the phone with 911, and at this time we're doing like 90, and they're like, well, what's going on? And he's like, he's behind us, he's coming up behind us. And I'm like, Craig, just get off the exit. So we went off the exit, and he's on the phone with 911. He's like, I'm doing like 90 right now to get away from this guy. Am I going to get pulled over? And they're like, no, you're on the phone with 911.
Am I going to get pulled over? That's the question you all had for the police. You called 911 after being pursued in a high-speed chase. A man ran into a wall, then continued his pursuit, indicating that it would be a deadly pursuit. And all you wanted to know when you called 911 is whether you would get a ticket while running away in fear of your life. You didn't say, 911, please come and help me. We're about to be killed because a guy is chasing us at 90 miles an hour. Instead, you say, 911, we're going 90 miles an hour because a guy is about to kill us. Now, do you think I'll get a ticket for this? Good enough. What'd they tell you?
They said no.
They said no.
They said no.
Then what happened?
So then we tried to tell him where the accident happened, but we knew that he wasn't there still because he was following us. So we went downtown and tried to make a complaint, and they took our information, said to do it first thing in the morning.
Okay. And you're suing obviously for the value of the car, the accident. Was it total?
I have estimates here. I have like 3 estimates, and they're all
for
above.
repair?
For repair, yes.
And they're all above what?
They're all above the Blue Book value.
All right. You have the Blue Book value?
I do.
There? And the estimate? Sir, you tell me your side.
Well, basically, yeah, she left it at the bar, took off with him. But the whole thing is, she didn't bother saying nothing to me. No one bothered to tell me what was going on. So yeah, I wasn't in the right state of mind. I mean, really, who would be at that point? So, like I said, I in fear for her because of, things that I've heard and just things I've seen. I didn't know if she willingly got in that car or not. I mean, look at her, she ain't very big. It wouldn't be hard to get her in a car if you wanted her in a car. So I didn't know, I had no idea. I followed to keep an eye on him and tried to stop him, and that's when I lost control of the car.
What would have happened had you stopped them?
I don't know, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Okay.
Honestly.
Good. So you didn't want that to happen?
Probably not.
Good enough. What's your defense paying?
Just that this could have all been avoided if she would have just been a woman about it and broke it off with me the correct way.
So
it really is not a whole lot of defense, but the fact that it's emotional distress, I guess.
You should have countersued her for that. Do you believe you caused them emotional distress?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
You can bring her back another day. And you can bring her back to me, in fact. With you on that side, suing her for emotional distress, and then you can remind me that she confessed and agreed that she caused you emotional distress, and then you'll get a judgment. In the meantime, she gets this one, $2,365. You have no legal defense to grabbing her car without her permission, chasing her engaged in a high-speed chase, causing damage and a risk to all of you all's lives. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm sorry, and there really isn't nothing I can do about it, but I just hope that...
No hard feelings.